Josh was a very good-looking, smart guy. Great person, president of his senior class. He just had a lot going for him. That his senior year, he had a shoulder injury in football, and he got addicted to pain pills, and it was downhill from there. Kyle was the baby of the family, and typical baby, fun-loving, happy kid. He sort of followed in his brother's footsteps, and they started doing the drugs together, and it was just downhill. It was just both of them just tried to get off of them, and just kept going back, and it ended tragically for both. He was at my daughter's, and she was there at 8 o'clock that evening, and he was fine. He had been doing well. He had just, had his young son the night before, and she left at 8 o'clock, and he was texting his girlfriend, and still no indication whatsoever. And the next morning, the girlfriend and my daughter went in, and he had hung himself on her bathroom door, and no note or anything, which was not like him, because he was a writer, and he had threatened other times, but always called someone or left a note. This time nothing. I guess he had just decided to do it. We first thought maybe it was foul play, that someone else had been involved, because we just were in shock and just didn't want to believe that he had taken his own life. But we feel he has gotten so tired of fighting the disease and tired of disappointing other people, he felt, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. He just thought that that was the answer, and it's not the answer. It's not. It's our life's still turmoil, different type of turmoil, but it'll never be the same. Kyle, right afterwards, he said he quit. He went through the Suboxone treatments, the implants, all different things, trying to do better and to make his brother proud. And he did well for about a year. And then he had some medical issues, kidney stones, gallstones. I begged the doctors not to give him pain pills because he had such a problem with them. And they did, and he got hooked on them again. And he was on Klonopin, a medical for antidepressant, and he got a hold of methadone to try to get himself off of the pain pills again. And that combination, he just went to bed and didn't wake up. Not intentional, was trying to do better and prove himself, and he just got back into the same thing. My husband had colon cancer, and I had taken him to Myrtle Beach for his last vacation ever. We were there one day, and our friend that was with us got the call from home that Josh had died. So my husband had to take me aside and tell me that the worst news of my life. You just never want to hear that your child is dead. And he had to tell me that basically on his dying bed, that his stepson, my son, was dead from suicide. He didn't really have the strength to get me home. I couldn't get an airline flight, but I wanted to be home, even though I knew he was gone. But somehow God gave Al the strength to drive me home. But so he had to spend the last 6 weeks of his life seeing me mourn and him mourning over our son. So I didn't really get to mourn Josh's death totally. Al died 6 weeks later, so maybe I mourned them both together, and then I thought I was getting a little bit better. And then a year later, I get the call. I was in Tennessee that my baby was gone. And I just thought I was in a nightmare. And I still feel like I'm in a nightmare. I can't wake up at times. But no parent wants to hear that their child's gone, let alone to have my 5-year-old grandson. Last time I took him to the cemetery, he always wants to see Daddy's heaven stone. And he just broke down and he was hugging that heaven stone. He didn't want to leave. That was the saddest thing I've ever, it was almost as bad as the actual events. It was so sad.